Good morning, guys. This is Lefnin. I am doing another video for you. This one is going to be basically about Beowulf. So, in this alternate kingdom that they create, basically as the Beowulf challenge, for those of you that haven't seen the other video as to what exactly you have to do in order to get Beowulf, I'm going to do a really short summary of it and show you exactly how I did it. Now, this is also good in order for if you're like a player that really wants to grow super fast. I could show you basically how I did it in the Beowulf challenge and then show you what exactly you get out of it and then show you how you can replicate this on your own. It's not just about me going through and getting really good and then I have it to where I show you guys I'm like ha, I'm great, you suck. It's not that at all. These videos are completely so that the game can actually be played on a higher level and that the people that are actually wanting to do this, they don't have to be robbed blind of a huge amount of money. So if I can go through and help you guys out, I'm going to do this. All right, now, very first things first, you always see the sales and all, blah, 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 who cares? Conquest points, don't ever buy them, just go through and do it. The best way to do it is Shadow City, or either that or attack other people. Okay, so right now we are in my kingdom, the Lephanan kingdom. I'm going to go through and take you on over to the other side in order to show you how you get Beowulf. Now, in order to do this, you have to be a guardsman level 6 in order to be invited. So then they send you on over to this alternate kingdom. And my identity over there is Toli or whatever. Okay, so when they send you over to this other kingdom, you have to start the game completely all over. So you basically start from when you have absolutely zero building, zero nothing. You are just a hero going through and trying to help out, this one other kingdom or whatever, or this one other city. So then those are the specials. So I quickly went through and I developed mine. And the way that I did mine was I bought, and these are on this the only thing that you really need because I bought more than this, but what you really only need is just the building resources. So there was this $4.99 building supplies. It was like a times 2 aspect. I bought that. I bought the 999. I bought the 1999. I bought the 49, the 99, and the eventual $249 one. Now, what this did was this allowed me to basically go through and get my buildings done super fast. So whenever they go through and they have like a building resources times 2, trust me, if you plan on playing this game long enough and get up to guardsman level 7, guardsman level 8, then you will eventually need this. Now, even though at this point I have achieved getting Beowulf by getting to guardsman level 6, I still have, 80 days left, 81 days. So I'm going to continue on to guardsman level 7. And then if I do that fast enough, then maybe I might do guardsman level 8. But for right now, I'm very ecstatic over the fact that I got Beowulf. So very first thing that I want to show you guys on how to develop fast. Once you get that building resources, you need to keep all of your captains and your hero below the level of 20. Do not level them up. Try and have it to where you can dismiss your captains, keep your hero to where he's not really fighting any battles, and have it to where they're below 20. What this does is it allows it to where you can go through and build your buildings and it's an automatic speed up to where all you have to do is just click upgrade or click build and then it will automatically go through and do it to where you can just hit claim or whatever and then it has it to where the building is done. You don't have to wait. You don't have to use any speed ups that will slow you down. Speed ups are very costly in this game. So what a few players have done is they built all of their buildings in their entire kingdom or in their entire city, but they do it at a level 19 because then at that point you're going to be getting so much different might and experience and other stuff. And so it's just better to build your city first. Do not fight the monsters outside the city. If you've already bought that building resource package, then you don't really need to yet. and build your city as quickly as you can. Spend your time on that, then go through and worry about the other monsters outside the city and fighting other monsters in other areas. So that is a very, very key point. Build your city first. Keep your captains and your hero out of it. Do not have do not have it to where they basically do anything. They fight no battles. They don't kill anybody, and just build your city. Once that's done, then you can go through and do the other stuff. Now, in order to keep on building quickly, what you have to do is you only build up your guardsmen. So what I did was, let me show you, for instance, where what you have possibilities wise in this game. For those of you that are brand new and about to play the game or haven't played or are just now playing, let me go through and help you out. So I'm going to train troops, right? There are different kinds of troops that you can do. So I'm going to try and make this a little bit easier for you all to see. You have guardsmen, you have specialists, engineer corps, you have a dragon, and then all of the monsters or whatever that goes with it. Now, what I would advise, you ignore everyone but the guardsmen. So what this does is, when you're going through and usually doing research, because you have to research in order to be able to do anything, you can do guardsmen or specialists or engineer corps, monsters, archaeology, blacksmithing, and then it goes to guardsmen 2 and blah, blah, blah. Then there's the boost section where you could go through and go into this other stuff. Now, economy and logistics, you can use regular valor points, which is basically you fight a battle and then you get valor points out of it. And it's usually to where you're fighting monsters or epic monsters. Epic monsters are the best way to go. But if you're going through and spending your valor points on the economy, logistics, and your specialists and your engineer corps and your monsters, then the only thing that you're doing is slowing yourself down. So imagine it this way, right? For anybody that's ever climbed a big mountain or, whatever, there is usually 2 ways to do it. You can go straight up the darn mountain, which you're basically doing a lot of rock climbing and everything. You're going up as quickly as you possibly can. Or sometimes there'll be a trail and it'll go switchback side to side. I could go, and on my main account, this is what I did. I did guardsmen, then I was doing specialists, but then I realized, hey, conquest points are really hard to get. So then I started to deal with the army modernization. But then I made sure that my engineer corps was getting upgraded. I made sure my monsters was getting upgraded. I made sure my archaeology, my blacksmithing. So across the board, I was spending valor points on making sure that everything was at the exact same level. This is a really, really big no-no if you want to develop fast. So what you can do is, if you only concentrate on guardsmen and put all of your valor points towards that, as your guardsman goes up, you can fight battles and you get more valor points from your guardsmen. So I'm basically going through on what I did with Beowulf. I had it to where the only 2 troops that I ever basically built was my spearmen and my riders. And I did that for Guardsman 1, Guardsman 2, Guardsman 3, Guardsman 4, the different Guardsman levels all the way up. And then I also would do merc packages in order to have it to where I could augment or make it a little bit better, a little bit faster, a little bit easier. If you're doing strictly guardsmen, then you're going to have it to where you have to fight more battles. If you get mercs involved, then just make sure that when you do buy the mercs, do not make them big, huge things that have very few of, that once they die, that, then it's harder for them to revive and you have a smaller army because of it. Have it to where you buy a package like Epic Monster Hunters. Sorry, excuse me. Epic Monster Hunters, to where there's lots of them and they're built in order to fight your epic level monsters. The ones that you'll see an event for, and they're these big, huge, ogre looking things or whatever, or robots. And then this way you can get as many valor points as you possibly can. The first time that I've gone through and played this game on my main account, it took me to get to guardsman level 6 about 6 weeks. I got to guardsman level 6 in 5 days. And I spent the exact same amount of money as I did on the game within the first 2 weeks, but I spent it in the course of 5 days. Now, granted, for those of you that are like, well, oh, I don't want to spend that much money and everything, I completely understand. So what you do is, if you limit yourself to only the building resources package that had that times 2 and it was 499, the 999 and 19 and all the way up, and also you spend money on epic monster hunters, those two will probably run you in the course of to try and get to guardsman level 6. If you exhaust the living heck out of them and keep on using them, you'll probably spend somewhere in the range of about maybe $1,000. Now, what this does is you're getting to progress of guardsman level 6. And then what you can do is you can always go through and decide, okay, now I'm going to start building up my engineer corps. But when you're trying to get the valor points, you're getting it from guardsman level 6. That is going to get you a whole lot more points, a whole lot quicker. So then you won't have to try nearly as hard in order to slowly develop yourself up. If you concentrate on guardsman level first, get all the way up that darn mountain, and then you bring the others up, you could throw a rope on down to them and drag them on up the mountain yourself. And what this does is, instead of it taking 6 weeks like it took me before, where I was still playing, 15 hours a day and still spent a darn good chunk of money, I could have probably done it for about $2,000, probably $3,000 or $3,000 or $2,000, $3,000. But instead, what you can do is you can get there in the course of, let's say, you don't have as much time as I do, which is completely understandable. Then you can get there in the course of to guardsman level 6 and then go through and bring your others up. And that would take you probably about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, 14 days. It's a much more efficient way to go. Don't go through and spread yourself out completely. Now, granted, you will be an incomplete player. You won't be able to attack other people the way that you want to, but who cares? Just bubble up during that time, build super fast, and then basically when you're ready to, then go ahead and jump on out into the rest of it. So by doing this method on Beowulf, I'm done as far as getting my guardsmen up. At least for right now, because I'm going to show you the what exactly I got out of it, so that this way is Beowulf worth it, because it is an exhausting challenge. There's a lot of people in there that are really trying to go for it and everything, so it isn't for the faint of heart, and you do need to devote a good bit of time to it. All right, so here's what Beowulf basically does. The rule is to where you earn valor points and then you have to unlock your guardsman levels. As long as you get at least one of the 3 or one of the 4 different guardsmen to reach that level, it is technically unlocked. So I got to guardsman level 3 within a day. And then it took another day to guardsman level 4, then another day to guardsman level 5, and then 2 more days in order to get to guardsman level 6. So when you get there, they have it to where there is, and we'll look at details or whatever, because the details show what, also other people are getting. The fastest person did this in 4 minutes and 52 seconds, or 4 hours and 52 minutes, probably 4 hours and 52 minutes. So they got to, actually, they might have done that in 4 minutes and 52 seconds, the guardsman level 3. But they got all these prizes out of it because they were the fastest. Ooh la la. But when you get to the guardsman level 3, they give you a set of armor. And supposedly these sets of armor have a durability of 200. Now we're going to look at it together because I haven't checked to see what the durability of the armor is. But each one of these levels, 3, 4, 5, gives you a set of armor. So then when you get to guardsman level 6, it gives you kind of like this right here, where it has pieces of Beowulf. It has 200 pieces. In order to get Beowulf on star level 1, which means that you're allowed to hire him and then you're allowed to use him, It costs, it basically takes 200 puzzle pieces. And then they also, in level 6, they gave me a set of purple armor. So for those of you that have been playing the game long enough, the purple background armor has a huge amount of strength to it. And I'm going to show you exactly what the strength is of it because trust me, it's worth it. It is so worth it. All right, so that's basically what Beowulf entails, what you have to do in order to get him. You have to go to this alternate kingdom. You have to start all over and then build your guardsmen up as absolutely fast as you possibly can. So then the next part of it, and by the way, along the way, they give you all this different types of stuff, whether or not it's dragon eyes or dragon orbs. They give you speed ups. They also give you like things to help your captains. So I would concentrate this on Farhad and then also on Aurora, the builder lady. And then the other thing that it does give you is building resources. I'll hit show all so that this way you can see it. So when you get the building resources, they give you like, now I have a number down at the bottom, like right-hand corner, and they give you that many million of both lumber, iron, and also stone. And as you go down this list and everything, you can see that it repeats over and over and over again. And as you go down the list, it also increases the amount that it gives you. So originally it might give you like 3 million, then it's giving you like 6 million, and then 8 million, and then 14 million. So it does increase as you go. Now, I'm not saying that you will not need to get speed ups. They give you a ton of them. Trust me, they give you an absolute ton of them. I'm not saying that that the resources that they give you is not enough in order to build your city to where you don't spend any money. But why go through and do so much extra when it's not that bad of a cost? It's the level that I did of $435. If you're just going to Guardsman level 6, you don't need $435. You could probably only spend about $185. And that would give you enough building resources in order to get to Guardsman level 6 in a fast way. I have enough building resources in order to get me to Guardsman level 7, maybe Guardsman level 8. I also have enough, like, because I've been doing Merc packages, I got speed ups also that could get me to Guardsman level 7, maybe Guardsman level 8. So I'm not just planning on, oh, I'm stopping at 6. I'm going to go a little bit further. That's the reason why I spent the extra money. So if you want to do it in 90 days, you could do it in 90 days. You could have it to where you don't even buy anything and you basically can get all the way down to Guardsman level 6 in 90 days. That is fully possible. But what you need to do is you need to concentrate solely on your Guardsmen. Your melee unit, your spearmen, and then also your mounted unit, your riders, and that's it. Do not do the other ones because it's only going to slow you down. They also have all these other different events that go through. Like right now they have Ragnarok going on. Fenrir is my favorite in order to be able to advance quickly in this game. The snake, which is Jomungard or whatever, he's pretty good, but he doesn't give you as much valor points. He gives you really cool prizes and all, but mainly concentrate your time on Fenrir. It gives you a whole lot more. Doomsday is decent and all, but like, you know, whatever. And then they do Shadow City, they do Arachne, they do other types of epic monsters that you can fight in order to be able to accelerate yourself along. Okay, so now that you know what you have to do, let's look at the perks of Beowulf. So we're going to switch on over. I'm going to go back to my main account. And all you have to do in order to switch between your main account and the Beowulf account is you're just basically going through and clicking on the ship set sail on the left-hand side if you're on the computer. And then it's also on the left-hand side if you're on your cell phone. Okay, so right now we have Doomsday going on. So let's take a look at Beowulf. So this is Beowulf right here. I'm going to go through and click on his info just so you can see exactly what pertains to him. This is also the armor that, you know, I was talking about. So this armor, so that those of you can see it, it increases your army's strength by 50%. The whole entire army. That is the best armor that I've seen in this game. Like, hands down, no bullcrap. Because most of the armor in this game has it to where you need, like, for your melee units or for your mounted units. Like, they're very specific. Or it's like just your guardsmen, or it's just this or just that. So this is definitely the best armor. The other thing that's great about it is the durability of it. Look at the durability. 1,000. Anybody that's been playing the game long enough, you know that the durability of the average armor that you buy is 30. If you increase the durability of it through the blacksmithing section, which I've gone through the entire blacksmithing section, it only increases it to where I think it's like 35 or 40 or whatever. So this is by far and away basically armor that you will never have to touch. This is armored for the really serious players that are going to be fighting a whole heck of a lot, and so that they never have to do this challenge again. I just find it absolutely amazing. It's 1010 for the durability. It's like, oh. And usually when you're thinking durability, that like every single fight that you get in, it decreases it by 1. But then when you hit repair, then it goes through and it goes back up to like 1009 and then 1008. If you're doing the math behind it, let me just tell you, I used to teach math and everything. You're never going to fight that many battles. There is no possible way that you will be on this game enough in order to fight that many battles to where this armor will go completely kaput. Now, the cool part is that this is the armor that I got for the level 6. But there is also other armor as far as for Beowulf. So let me go through, and I'm just going to, like, let's say we decide to switch it out or whatever. So let's go through and pick a different piece of armor. So now I'm looking at this piece of armor. This was one of the other ones that I got. It was a green set. And then when we're looking at the information of it, this one helps it out to get it to what? 15% of the entire army. So granted, there is a big difference in between going through and getting level 3 or level 4, or level 5 or level 6, you know, and I know that for definite that they offered it at 3. I think I'm not sure if it was the green set at 3. To be honest with you, I wasn't paying much attention. I had my eyes completely set on 6, at least getting there. So this one is still has a durability of 1,000. So what I can do is, because I did the multiple, like, you know, I went to 3, I went to 4, went to 5, went to 6. I have it to where I have different sets of armor. We also have a blue set. So we have, at this point, a green set, a blue set, and then the purple set. And I think, I'm looking at some of my other armor. Okay, so they only offer, so far, 3 different sets. So I think it might have been like level 4 to where they didn't give me a set of armor. It might have been level 3 to where they didn't give me a set of armor. I don't know. But I've gotten 3 different sets. So I had one, I know I got 6, which was the purple set. I know I think I got at 5 was the blue set. And then I think it might have been either 3 or 4 for the green set. Either that or it was like I got extra stuff for the green set. I don't know. No, it looks like it was just the one. It's fine. But anyways, you get the gist of it. So I'm going to go through and transfer this one back over because I love my purple set. Now, granted, if I get to level 7, then I'll switch this one out. But the good thing is, though, if you have these different sets and everything, then you might as well go through it and equip your other captains. Now, granted, I'm not going to use Farhad or Aurora in order to basically do anything fighting-wise, but I can go through and equip it to Cleopatra, and that would work out really well. And then also, like, if you're thinking, oh, well, we'll give it to Hercules. Well, Hercules already has the epic monster fighter, you know, aspect to him, and he has the Warrior of Ragnarok armor. So he does not, and I think that Warrior Ragnarok might actually be just as good as this. Granted, the durability is less and all, but it's still to where it is a very solid piece of equipment that you were getting from the Warrior of Ragnarok if you've gotten that armor already. All right, so now the great thing about it is, like, hey, why don't we fight somebody? Like, you know, it's nice to have a shiny toy, but unless you ever use it, like, you know, why have a Ferrari if you're never going to go through and drive it? So, granted, he is a level 1, so I don't think that he's going to be able to really bring enough, help in order to get up really high. But we're just going to do something stupid, right? So, if I kill him and everything like that, I do, apologize. It's probably not the best idea in the world. But I'm also going to bring enough mercs in order to make it to where this monster is going to have to be really, really beefy in order to, like, go through and kill him. All right, so let's fight a rare cursed monster, level 28. And we're going to get to bring along our dragon and everything. And this is close by, so it should be fine. All right, so... it's rare, so I'm not going to be able to bring Beowulf. Let's go through and look up a common monster. All right, so I think 30 might be the lowest that I get to be able to use with my dragon. Yeah, it looks like 30 is going to be the lowest. All right, Beowulf. Guess what? You're level 1. You're going up against a level 30 on the very first time. This sounds like a great plan. All right, here we go. We got Beowulf. We're going to make sure we use the dragon because otherwise it's going to be really horrible. I know Wow, yeah, I'm going to really regret this decision. You know what? Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to bring enough troops in order to make a difference. Let's go a lower level. This is when sensibility kicks in. You have the Ferrari, but driving past a cop motor pool and speeding at the exact same time probably does not sound like a very good idea. All right, so we're going to go a little bit kitty level. He's going to face a level 13 monster, and we're going to open it up to any kind. I don't care. Actually, hold on. Can I find one? 1 to 13 monster. Oh, no wonder it's set on heroic. That's why. Duh. Idiot. There is no level 13 heroic. Okay, so we're going to be taking on this guy. Guess what? You get to be the victim. Common Inferno Squad. I'm going to kill you. Oh, actually, Beowulf is going to do that. So it's too low in order to be able to go through and use our... I'm going to use this demonic salamander dude or whatever. And that's all among the mercs I'm allowed to bring. And I'm thinking about taking this big old beast dude. 8 of them. Not allowed to take a lot because he's only level 1. And then because of the fact that I'm fighting a monster, 140 spearmen. This might be a really bad idea. Oh well, let's find out. I'm not going to take my 4 minutes and 11 seconds. We're going to go through and speed this up. Oh, that's guardsman training. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Nope. Bring this down. Out the forge. Guardsman. Did the monster disappear? Did somebody kill it? I know it wasn't Beowulf. Yeah, he disappeared. Okay. Let's try this again. No, I'm not facing a level 1. That just seems completely silly. Alright, so we're going to attack this level 9 using Beowulf. No, we're bringing the demonic salamander. I'd rather do that, dude. And then we're doing... yeah, there, Beowulf looked at the monster and it died. That's possible. Alright, let's start our march. 1 minute. We're going to ignore that. We're going to boost it on up speed-wise. This is Beowulf, so you get to see his fighting style. I'm going to zoom in. Took a giant war axe and smacked the monster upside the head with it. Pretty much. Alright, so he went up in level. He's now level 7. That's cool. And then I'm going to fight another monster, and then we're going to look at what bonus did he really receive out of going through and leveling up. So I think that we could push this a little bit higher. I don't think he even broke a sweat on that one. So let's fight this level 17. It's really close by. Guess what, dude? Use is going to be the victim. Okay. Now we can actually take some more people. So I'm going to use a little bit of her and a little bit of him. And then monsters-wise, Bring in the beasts. And then let's go with our spearmen. I can now bring 1,000. That's good. At least he's increasing. And let's start our march. And we're going to speed this up because nobody wants to watch Beowulf walk. We just want to watch him kill stuff. So we're doing this again. Alright, so then we got our level up. Cool. And he is now at 14. Okay, so let's see what exactly this has done to Beowulf as far as his attributes go. Because this is the part that's really cool about it. Now, for those of you that have already known exactly what his attributes are, it kind of helps. Sorry for the farting like noise. It's not me, I promise. I have a tripod that I put for my cell phone in order to be able to get it. So if you're looking down there, health of entire army is now 14%. Strength of entire army is now 14%. The great part about Beowulf, not just the armor, because the armor is very nice. The great part about Beowulf is the fact that he does both health and strength for every single level that he goes up. Every single level that he goes up is 1% to health, 1% to strength. So now, let's go through and take a look at, we've seen his armor, we've seen his fighting ability and everything else. So, let me see. Let's take a look at the captain itself and see what it takes in order to get to the next level. So let's look at this. And then our star level. Okay, so star level right now, right? It has it to where at level 1, it took us 200 pieces in order to get him. So in order to get to the next one, which is level 2, it would take another 200 pieces of puzzle from him, for him. Now, for those of you that are thinking like, okay, if I just go on over to the summoning chamber or whatever, I can probably get his pieces. I don't think mythic level captains, you can actually summon pieces for them. If you guys have ever tried to go to the summoning chamber and summon pieces of Hercules, it's not even an option. Mythic level captains, you have to go through a chain, either by purchasing in the for Hercules, or by going through and doing the challenge for Beowulf. So for me, because of the fact that when you get to level 7 guardsmen, they're giving you another 200 pieces of Beowulf. If I go through and do that, it's going to add 70% more strength and 70% more health to my army. Am I going to go for Guardsman level 7? Oh, heck yes. Yes. So that is my next goal, is going to be to try and get the next level. And then for those of you that are like, well, what would you get if you go to 8? So let's go through and take a look at that before we conclude our video. So I'm going to go back on out. I'm going to go over, set sail, go to the other kingdom, go to my other, like, basically profile / account. Loading, people's loading. Rawhide. Okay, so different sales, blah, 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 don't care. And then we have my kingdom, everything's popping in. Let's go through and do to this. All right, so I'm gonna move this in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit easier. I would go through and, try and zoom it, but whenever you zoom, it's always a hard time of like, did I go zoom too far in? Did I zoom too far out? Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if I got to level 7, then I get my other 200 pieces. So I am definitely going for level 7 in order to get that other 70%. Level 8 is 400 pieces, and then level 9, you get I want to say that's 600 pieces. Okay, so now we know 200, 400, 600. Last thing last, let's go back on over to the other side. And we're going to check and see what it takes to go to level 3, what it takes to go to level 4, and see if it matches up. And then this way we also know, like, okay, so if I go through and do level 9, so like, you guys, I'm not doing level 9. There is no way in the world I am devoting that much time to myself. My kingdom is about to open up to the rest of the world in 2 weeks. I do not have time to go to level 9 before then. I could try and go for level, 7, maybe 8, if I'm feeling like, hey, I got to level 7 quickly enough, so I'll spend like an hour a day trying to get up to level 8. To where it's enough time in order for me to fight and die and fight and die and fight and die and upgrade some buildings, but I'm not going to devote a huge amount of time to it. All right, so let's look at our captain again. So then we look at Beowulf and his information, and then we got to look at the star aspect. All right, so if we went to level 2, remember it was 200, so that matches up. If we would go to level 3, hold on. Oh, you tease, you don't want to show me. I know it allows it when it's on the phone, like, oh, it takes this to go this. Or it shows you the bonuses for it. I'm guessing that it's not going to show the bonus for, let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. It'll show me what exactly you get from it, but it will not show me what it costs. So I'm guessing, for those of you that are like following along or whatever, that either the creators are going to be nice or they're going to be mean, and I think that they're going to be a little bit nice. I think that, or I'm sorry, I think that they're going to be a little bit mean. Kind of like what they did with Hercules, where you can buy the pieces in order to be able to get him up higher. They'll probably do this with Beowulf, to where it'll be like, okay, you got Guardsman level 6. This will be for Guardsman level 7, Guardsman level 8, and Guardsman level 9. Now, granted, that person, whoever the heck is actually going to go through and get that, is still going to get 210% extra strength and health to their army, which is ginormous. But then they might have to buy their way. Like, it might be under triumphal sales to where it's like, oh, you can buy pieces for Beowulf, and it's going to be at the very, very end of that entire triumphal sales, all the way to the right, and it's going to probably cost you like $2,000 to $4,000 in order to get more pieces, because Beowulf is just that darn good. So don't get me wrong, guys. I do greatly appreciate this game and everything, and I'm very, very happy about it. But when it comes down to it, this is a money game. This is strictly like, an effort, plays a decent part to it, but a whole lot of money that goes into this game. So for right now, you guys can see, is Beowulf worth it? Yes. If you compare him to Cleopatra, his armor that you get along with him is phenomenal. It's like forever armor. I'm going to go through and, basically put Cleopatra in the blue set, and I'll probably put somebody else in the green set or whatever. And then it's also to where, like, as you go up to 7 to 8 on the Guardsman level on the other side, to where it's going to probably get even better. And when I think that for the people that actually are able to achieve Guardsman level 9, they're probably getting God-like, a set of armor, the yellow kind, the furthest to the right, when you're looking at the different levels. So that is Beowulf. That is exactly what he does, what he's capable of doing. I'm going to now fight every single battle with Beowulf going forward, aside from epic level monsters, because that's still a Hercules thing. And until Beowulf is actually better than Hercules, which I don't think I'm going to get him there anytime soon, then I will continue to stick with Hercules when it comes down to epics, and then Beowulf for every single common monster. Cleopatra still has a part in my army and everything. She'll be like my second captain when it comes down to the Arachne like fights. And then it can be to where I can also use Doria, the girl that gives you extra valor points, have her as the third captain for my fights up against Arachne. So that this way I have a ton of power added to each other between Cleopatra and also Beowulf together. And then I get the added points of Doria for the valor. And that's just going to be a quick way for me to be able to ascend from, I'm about to hit guardsman level 7. And my goal is to get to guardsman level 8 sometime in the next 3 to 6 months. So we'll see. You guys have a great day. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, whatever. If you have different things that you want me to cover and I'm not covering them yet or at the time, please go through and add a comment on it, and so that this way I can make sure I do a video over it. This was the most pressing aspect of what exactly is going on right now, because all the veteran players across the entire game, the ones that are guardsman level 6 and above, so all the power players are all trying to get Beowulf right now. So if you wanted to know what is important right now, this is what's going on. So you guys, hopefully you enjoy, and then stay tuned. I will go through and put out another video probably tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.